Kelihatan nggak recordnya? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. So today we are from class B. We would like to discuss about a pragmatic study of newspaper headlines in media discourse, Iraq as a case study. So before diving in the the topic, I would like to introduction my member, but only one. Here there is my friend Wanda. Say hello. Wanda Setiawati.
Hello, my name is Wanda Setiawati. Thank you, Irfa.
And me, Irfaul Maulida, as moderator. So in the study, the researchers named Haider Toma and colleague Wahab Jaber from University of Misan, Department of English, Misan, Iraq. Next slide. So in this slide, we are gonna talk about introduction, research method, finding and discussion, and conclusion. And on the first slide, my friend will explain this. Will explain the capture one. Wanda,
Yeah,
time is yours.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Irfa. Now I will explain about the introduction about this research. So media discourse play a crucial role in people's lives. This role can be influenced by news and newspaper report. In this case, when readers want to take a look on what happened in the world, they go over to the headline of newspaper, since they have a role to get and grab their reader's attention and make him or her to read the reports or of newspaper. The editor or writer address the reader mind to make him or her focus on an issue which is happening and becoming an essential matter in reports. Therefore, they manipulate the language of headline using different linguistic and pragmatic aspects to convey the issue in news and newspaper. This is explain. This is the definition of headline according to REA 2002. A headline can be explained and described to know their function within the text. A headline is a type of a unique text. This text contains some function which may fill the text shape, structure, and context. From Taiwan 2007, headlines are important since the use of them can initiate, sustain, and shape discourse on the viewpoint of readers. And next, from Tuchman, 1978, the language of headline is written differently from the language of stories. Headline can be written in the present tense and story can be written in the past tense. They said that headlines are more important for the reader than new article because they can show representation which may be social, national, and cultural. The study of the study aimed to investigate the speech art that are used in the Iraqi newspaper headline from Al Sabah newspaper and reveal the way in which headline covered the Iraqi ISIS conflict in the local newspaper, using the pragmatic meaning to shape the reader's attention in conveying the message behind the use of newspaper headline. The study also tries to show the explicit and implicit performative verb of speech arc and headlines. Yeah, the next topic is about research method. So this research method, this study is to explicate the quantitative methodology. The study established that quantitative research deal with quantifying and analyzing variable in order to get result. Quantitative research is the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data. It can be used to find pattern and average, make prediction, test causal relationship, and general result to wider population. The approach in this research focus on the descriptive by using percentage of classified headline into categories of speech arcs. It can be used to describe current phenomena. The aim of descriptive research is to accurately and systematically describe a population, situation, or phenomenon. It can answer what, where, and when, and how question, but not why question. Okay, thank you. Next.
So here in the slide, we would like to talk about finding and discussion. Next. So here, the findings show the frequency and percentage of the use of headline in Al-Shaban newspaper. It appears that frequency of using representative, assertive, or we call assertive is 10, and a percentage of 2%, directive show frequency of 3, and a percentage of 9%, and then a higher than directive commissive show that its appearance in headline is a frequency of 9 headline and a percentage of 10 headline. But I mean, I forgot to talk to you that the researcher use analyze the pragmatic study with using Shirley taxonomy speech aids. Here the next slide. The next slide is the table that I have explained before. And the next slide. The next slide. The next slide, it will explain by my friend.
Yeah, okay. So this is table 2 and figure 2 of the frequency and percentage of explicit and implicit speech arc in the Al Sabah newspaper. I will explain in more detail. The data analysis show that table 2 keep the most frequent speech arcs that are used explicitly or implicitly. Representative, assertive are used implicitly more than explicitly. Table 2 show that X speech arcs with a percentage of 16% used implicitly, whereas only a frequency of 2 with a percentage of 4% used explicitly. Directives which are used uncommonly in the headline appear that they are used only as explicit speech arc with a frequency of 3 and a percentage of 6%. However, commissive appear that the speech arc are used implicitly rather than explicitly. The data show that a frequency of 9 with a percentage of 18% use implicitly speech acts as commissive uh, and then since the expressive and declaration or declarative are the most common speech act in the study, they are used differently to perform speech acts of headline explicitly and implicitly. Expressive show a higher use of the explicit speech act rather than implicit speech act. They appear a frequency of 12 and percentage of 24% to perform the headline explicitly, whereas few frequencies are used implicitly with amount of 3 and a percentage of 6%. Conversely, the headlines are used implicitly as declaration or declarative rather than they are used explicitly. They appear with a frequency of 11 and percentage of 22% of the use of headline as implicit performative acts. However, they appear with a frequency of 2 and a percentage of 4% of the use of headline as explicit performative acts. Consequently, since the sample data used 50 headline, the findings show that 19 headline with a percentage of 38% used as explicit performative acts, whereas uh, 31 headline with a percentage of 62% are used as implicit performative acts. Okay. Next topic will be presented by my friend Irfaul.
So uh, we could we could conclude that since the current study investigates Charlie taxonomy of speech aid to Al-Sabah newspaper headline, the investigator made generalization to construct up the following conclusion for this ponder. One, all this classification of Charles scientific Charles' taxonomy categorization of speech aids were utilized to inspect the future of Al-Sabah newspaper. Second, the quantitative examination uncovered that the speech aids were utilized in the unexpected way. In this case, the analyst watched that the editor or journalist center or on utilizing particular speech aids to cover the Iraqi emergence in confronting ISIS threat. For this lesson, the expressive and revelatory speech aids were the foremost unmistakable and common features. Common discourse aids within the examined features since 2017 is the year in which Iraqis celebrate the Trumpis and freedom of their life. Third is the sample headline appeared that explicit and implicit speech aids were used in these features as specified in Table 2 and Feature 2, the analysis of current considered points that the most noteworthy level of use the speech Edward phrase as understood discourse age is that as it may express its word, appraised as the most noteworthy level being utilized as plastic discourse aids. In brief, 2017 was the stage in which the editor played a part in defining the features as implies to address the sentiment of Iraqi pressure by communicating declaration, making promises, congratulating, and making declaration to communicate the ways which express the sensitivity toward accomplishing triumphs. I mean triumphs and freeing and lands. So what? Studying newspaper headlines based on the speech hypothesis make the analysis think that headlines play a part forming the reader's conviction. For future investigate, the analysis proposed considering the future as implies the influence of reader's conviction. Thus, they may play a part in forming the writer's or reader's belief system. I think that's it from our presentation. Thank you for attention. See you. Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.